Well, hello everyone, and it is finally here. I've been mentioning it for a while. This is the official announcement of the Holiday Exhibition Challenge Series racing series that I'm going to be conducting, hosted by me on the PlayStation Network in the lobby events. It'll always be here live on YouTube here at KingPittdawg Racing. Those interested in participating, I'm going to have all the details up on my Instagram page, and that is KevinP_KPD. Again, Instagram at KevinP, KEVINP_KPD. I'm also going to be, once you've reach out to me through the PlayStation Network or through our group chats, whatever, I'm going to put you down as officially entered, and then we'll I'll set up a group chat and just add everybody as they want to enter. Again, you don't have, if you're going to run one race, you're interested in one race, just let me know. I'm fine with that. I'll put you down as an entry. Okay. We're going to have, at this point, we're going to have 9 different rounds at this point, 6 different tracks. Or, I'm sorry, 7 different tracks. Okay? Or different layouts. We're going to have, right here, this is what I've got up on the screen right now, our official kickoff open night, which is going to be on Wednesday the 21st. Approximately 7:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. Again, this is just a fun night. There's no points on this. This is just a fun night to get acquainted with anybody new that's coming in. We'll probably run until maybe around 10:30 or 11. And this first racing night, I want to keep it limited to Group 4 cars, so we don't have to keep setting the room up. It'll be balance of performance, but I've done quite a bit of research on this, actually testing here anyway. The 636 PP performance points max will kind of take the ringers out. Okay, so that will be the upper performance points limit. Most of the cars are going to be on medium tires that are even. Okay, some will require hard. Those are your ringer cars that tend to come out and run really super fast, and then everybody drives those cars. So this particular event, I'm going to allow you to change cars, but they're all going to have to be Group 4. It'll be balance of performance, because some cars will be able to run on softs, but a few of them, and I only have one of mine that I tested had to be on hards, and that was the RCZ Group 4. So the way that I want to do this format for this open night, I want to work on practicing for the real events, which are going to start Friday night of next week, which is the 23rd. So we're going to run 2 racing weekends here over the holidays, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday races. All right. I've tried to set it up to be as accommodating to as many people within my schedule too, because I still have to run this thing. So, so I'll go over the dates here in just a minute. But this first round, which I want as many people to come in and participate as you want. You can also enter during this round if you want to say, hey, I want to officially enter for these races. You can do that, and I'll set you up on the group chat. And then I'm tossing around a couple things to do once you're on the group chat, as basically a confirm your entry type thing, because I'm going to post this up on some of the groups I'm on too, because we'll bring in some new drivers. But I've already invited all the PRG drivers that I've been racing with, and some of my friends that come online. I think anybody that's watching this, this would be fun. Come in, don't be shy. Come in. I was really hesitant to do a lot of this stuff initially, but I'm telling you what, we got a really good group of guys that race. Some guys that are in here all the time that I consider online friends here, and I really appreciate everybody. There's some really good drivers I race with, and it's fun. It's fun, these guys, and it's fun, clean racing, and it's an absolute blast when things work right. So, to further go into this open night here, and then we'll go into some of the other rules. This open night, which I'm pretty excited about this, because I think this could be the most fun we have the whole time, because nobody's going to be worried as much about points and all that. So the way I'm going to run this is I've run some races and gotten in these groups of guys running dailies where they'll go to a track and they'll race, and then whoever finishes first gets to choose the car they race, but it's the same daily race, but they're switching cars, right? Like a Group 4 track or a Group 3 track. So I wanted to try this, but a little twist on it. We're actually going to change the track instead of the car. So I think this would be interesting because some people are better at other tracks than others, and some just want to, hey, let's have a race here, you know, wherever you want. So so tentatively for this round, this open round, I'm basically going to have it, we're going to have all these races. They're going to be 11 laps, grid start, no matter where we're at. Okay, that'll, I originally was going to do this pace laps, but I don't think we'll go that route. So we're going to start off here at Red Bull. We'll have a 5-minute qualifying session to determine the first race finish. Okay, after the first race is determined by qualification. After that race, we will invert the field from the previous race finish. So race 2 will be started by the finishing order reversed of race 1. Anybody joining the races on race 2 would start in the very, very back. Okay, so that's something I didn't actually address on here, but I want people to be encouraged to come on in and race. Even if you finish last in the second race, if you come in and race, you're going to start first in the third race or the next race or whichever race you come in. And I'm planning on, doing this as late as we want to keep doing, as long as we're having fun, man. I don't care. I'll sacrifice some sleep. I do have to be at work pretty early on Thursday because we're going to be short a couple of people. So, but you know what? I've got some energy drink. So I want everybody to have fun. I want everybody to enjoy it and people to be able to come on the channel here and watch it and enjoy it because it should be fun racing. I'm going to try to clear out my all my replays so I have enough room for the replays that we're going to make of these races. And I'll do it every night. I'll clear it out every night after the races. And once I get them on the cloud by sharing them, then I can delete them off of my limited space that we have on the game. All right, so that is open night, okay? So let's switch the room settings and I'll show you what we've got set up. There we go. All right, so this, again, Group 4, and let me show you. The settings will be set. This is the car we ran at the whole event series for the Fall Invitational Championships that I just wrapped up tonight. So you can see what happens when I go in here and put soft tires on this car. Now I go to enter, it's going to tell me, it's going to give me balance of performance, but then it's going to tell me, hey, you're not in regulation. So then we got to go back and change our tires. So I would encourage anybody coming in this, make sure you get all 3 tires. If you haven't run the car or tested it or not one of the ones that we know are going to be on medium tires or whatnot. So this particular car now, on medium tires, its PP now is compliant. I put the ceiling at 636, but it's saying, look, I can only switch to medium. I can't put in soft tires. Okay, so that gets this car now, if you look at the settings, it is at 632.50. So that's under the 636 limit. All right, so that's how I've tried to fix, if you want to say it, fix it, the BOP issues you have with this game. And anybody who's done it knows that you'll get to a specific race and one car will be the dominant car or 2 cars and everybody's driving them. I'm trying to limit that, so we take those ringer cars and change them. Now, in this event, this open night test event, I'm going to be pretty lenient. So if you want to change cars, that's fine. I just don't want you changing cars at every track. I suppose that wouldn't matter. I thought about limiting that, but I do want to keep it a BOP Group 4 with a 636 limit. That should balance these cars out at every track. Because some of these cars, I mean, like the what is it, RCZ's like at a 686 or something performance points, which is almost 700. And then, you know, some of these other cars, even with soft tires, are only at like 629. I don't know how that's balance of performance, but Whatever. We're trying to work within the limits of the game. So that is the open night. Again, that is December 21st. That's just 2 nights away. Or 2 nights between now and then. Between that night. So we got Monday and Tuesday night. And then our race. Our race night. So that's that one. So we're going to change the settings now. We're going to load settings. And this is our actual open night. The Holiday Exhibition Challenge Series, Round 1 at Laguna Seca Raceway. All right, now don't pay too close attention to this 12 laps because that's just the first race. So on this event, we're going to have, again, I'm setting up the weather. I mean, it's been a lot of stuff here. But one thing I have done here has been some testing. This is going to be a single car race, and the way I've done that is by the PP limit and the max power and the minimum weight. This is this is going to be specifically a race spec'd out. I gotta switch car. Hang on. Change car. There we go. No, wait a minute. Why did it? Oh, I didn't change the event settings. Okay. So, see, this is why I want to do this. This is why I want to do this. I hit load. Okay. But then I got to change event settings. Okay. I wouldn't have to do this. I'll have the race will be preloaded. So this is actually our first round. Okay. So this is our car. Okay. This is a spec car that I've spec'd out to specific HECS. Let me get into the settings here. So this is a car you're going to have to own. It's not an expensive car. That's why I used it. So I've got a specific setup to make this car exactly what you need. So what I've done is I've set the performance points right at this. This is the max I want to be allowed right here. We're at 608 max on the performance points. 275 max horsepower. 1,750 pounds a max weight. Okay, and then the car comes with a sports suspension, so that we don't change. If it doesn't, you can buy that because I think it comes on it. I don't think I had to buy that. And then you're going to have to buy ballast because to make the minimum weight, you're going to have to add 19 kilograms on the car. There is no transmission allowed. Okay, it's going to be the stock transmission. This anti-lag system is optional. But the racing intercooler, racing air filter, racing muffler, racing slotted discs or drilled disc, whichever one you want, they're the same performance points. You can run either one of those. Brake pads, racing brake pads I'd recommend. You don't have to, but I would definitely recommend it. And then I bought a brake controller. Again, the anti-lag and the brake controller are optional. They're optional. They're very inexpensive. I would definitely suggest getting them. And then the last thing is the racing clutch and flywheel. So that is our spec vehicle, the Radical S R3 in HECS or HECS spec. That's the round number 1, the official kickoff of the round. Now, I don't have room set for these other ones, so I'm going to go through those manually. I'm going to go through the dates here with you, and I will post this up. Again, those who enter, I will have you added to a chat that'll be just for like settings and entry and discussions. Okay, and then we'll have another chat room, just for like fun. So we talked about opening night. That's our open night. Now, this event here that I've got up here on the screen is going to be a multi-tiered points race. Okay, so we're going to have 3 races. All right. The first race is going to be set by a 10-minute qualifying session, and this is WeatherTech Raceway at Laguna Seca in the Radical. So that's how we'll set the grid for the first one. That will be set automatically by the field. okay, or by the game when we qualify. So we'll have that 10-minute qualifying session. It'll line us up, and then we'll be all set to go. All right. We'll take a little break in between qualifying and before I hit the start on the race. And this is going to be a grid start, which I originally was going to do pace start, but I actually decided that this is going to be grid start here while we were racing tonight. So, now, we're going to run 11 laps in the first race, which should be able to get us without having to do any sort of pit stop or anything. Now, the second race I'm not going to be so sure about. The fuel is going to be set at 2 times. So, in the second race is going to be 22 laps. All right? And then that second race will be set by the finishing order of the first race inverted. And that's going to be, you're going to see that theme throughout the series, because I consider that one of the best ways to balance out the field. All right, and then the third race will be 33 laps, another grid start, and you can use whatever sport tires you want. I don't know how they're going to. I only ran about 8 laps here in this car testing. And it was so perfect. I'm like, oh, it's great. I mean, this is a perfect car for this track, for racing this track. It's very stable. Hey. Thank you for this word. I'm going to need it for running this series. I need all the luck I can get. This will be a good learning experience for me. I've been wanting to do this. Steve does it, and I have mad respect for him being able to do this all the time, because this is a lot of work. But hopefully everybody has fun, and I hope one of the things I really want to do is kind of grow some relationships and hopefully expand the channel a little bit, get our name out there so we can have even more participation and competition if we run another series here later in the year. So, along with these races being basically 11 laps more each run, I'm gonna do the race points 1, 2, and 3 times for each race. So, and I'll go back to the points back at the end of this broadcast about how points are going to be. Originally, I wasn't even going to do points for this, but I said, you know what, we got to have some sort of challenge for everybody. And then I decided to kick in. I'm kicking in some money to give out a cash prize at the end of the season. To first place, I'm hoping to get enough money to do first, second, and third. So we'll see how that goes. I'm definitely going to put $25 in, and I think what I'm thinking about doing now is doing a PlayStation credit, because I think you can gift that over the PlayStation Network. So that might be what I do for you, or we may just do just like a simple Visa gift card or whatever. It just depends. I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to be. I'm trying to get some people to sponsor some things. So I'm working on that. I should have that wrapped up by the time the series ends. So just know there's going to be a cash prize for winning the overall championship, and I'm hoping for second and third too. But at this point, you win the championships, you're going to be getting $25. That's my minimum for winning the championship. So, all right. So this car, again, the limits are set on the room, so we don't have to worry about it. And again, you'll have to have ballast and get a 608 pp max, 1750 minimum weight, 275 horsepower maximum. So that would make the cars exactly equal. So, all right, then round 2 is going to be Christmas Eve day, and it's going to be tentatively at noon Central Standard Time. Again, I'm in the Midwest United States, so everything I'm telling you times, if I don't say it afterwards, is Central Standard Time. This is going to be Group 3 at Nürburgring Grand Prix. We're going to do 3 10-lap sprint races. We're going to do we're going to set the room for 11 laps, because I want to do a pace lap. And those who haven't done that, I can explain that. It's pretty simple. We start off basically as a grid start. The first lap, we run a pace. The series pace at this point is going to be 62 kilometers per hour or 62 miles per hour, which is 100 kilometers per hour, unless I state otherwise at an event. So just keep that in your head. You're not going to have to do it very often. The only race where it's really going to matter is going to be the finale at Daytona, and I'll get into that later. Now, this round here at Nürburgring Grand Prix with the 3 10-lap sprints, it's going to be a 5-minute qualifying session to set the field for the first race, and then we're going to invert the positions after that. Again, that's the theme, inverting, get that person who might have had some bad luck in the first race, second race, and get them up front so they can run hard. And just to reiterate, if you join the racing in between rounds, you're going to start at the very back. I'll let you start, but you're going to start at the very back. Okay? Now, this one brings a little bit of a wrinkle to that, because if you come in on the second race or the third race, I'm going to require you to only be allowed to run hard tires. Okay? You can't run softs, come in and try to, just run softs and win. So you're going to have to, if you come in late, if you participate in the whole thing, you can follow the tire rule. But if you're a late entry, you're going to have to run hard tires. That's just fair to everybody else. Now, I would accept if you come in and qualify and have to leave for some reason, and then come back, then I would allow you to run mediums and hards. But I'm not going to let you come in for one race and run softs. Okay? You're basically limiting yourself by doing that. Okay? But if you qualify the first race and you declare and you don't come in till the second or third race, I will let you start the whichever one you want, the second or third race, on medium tires, whichever one. But you're going to run hards and mediums. You're not going to get to run softs. So same thing if you come in for just the last race, you're only going to be allowed hards. That's just fair to everybody. So again, this is the tire calling rule, which I actually got into in my previous video, because that's how we're going to be running the Winter Invitational Series. So basically, we already went over the setup for that race. We're going to invert race 2 and 3 from the finishing order of race 1 and 2. And then you're going to have to choose your tires. Now, some people get confused about this, but it's pretty simple. You're going to declare what tires you want to qualify on. All right? Those will be the tires you are racing in the first race. Okay? And you will be declaring that in our race meeting before qualifying. And then you will also set up your second race by declaring your tires. You cannot run the same tires in any race. Okay? So in the 3 races, you will run hards, you will run mediums, or you will run softs. Each of them you have to run. So, for example, it's a 10-lap race, all right? So if you run softs in the first race after qualifying, and you run out of tire at lap 8 and you need to pit, you're going to have to put softs on, okay? And then it's the same thing for the following race. Same thing if you're on mediums. You have to stay on the same tires. Okay, so the choose rule, just to put it in a nutshell, each race you got to choose, you must use all 3 compounds. Now, to kind of give you a little strategy there, okay? Say, for instance, half the field says, hey, I want to be on soft tires for qualifying because I want to be up front. Now, a strategy for you might be to say, okay, I'm going to declare and I'm going to run qualifying on hard tires. You're basically sacrificing that first race to get yourself into the front on the next race. So that's why I like inverting the field. It gives everybody a chance to use some strategy and so on. So if anybody has any questions about that, again, I think I just did a really bad job explaining that because I jumped into the thing if you joined late. So let me just think of a different way to put that forth for you. So again, our options are hard, medium, and soft racing tires. You have to declare before qualifying what you're going to run in qualifying. That is your tire for the first race. Second race, you have to declare a different tire than what you qualified in for the second race. Okay, and then the third race is going to be whatever's left over, and I will call that out because you're going to be declaring it to me. I'm going to write it down, and I will also be verifying when we sit on pit road which tires you're on, because I'm going to have everybody enter, and I'm just going to mark down everybody's tires. You know, I've got to have a different score sheet for every one of these races, so it's making it a little difficult for me. I actually spent like $10 on on ledgers to try to track this. So, all right, so that's round 2. And then over Christmas, so that is the 23rd again, or that was the 24th. I'm sorry. And then on Christmas Day, we're gonna do something pretty simple. It's gonna be Group 4 at Brands Hatch. We're gonna do a 650 PP max on this one. And again, that's could be determined. That could change with testing. We might go back to the 636. But it's two 15 lap races. This is going to be with a pace lap. And then we're going to have, for each race, this is going to be a little unique, we're going to have 2 5-minute qualifying sessions. So if you kind of screw up your qualifying in the first one, you're going to get a chance. And then you can possibly, because it's only a two race round, I wanted to give people a chance to pack on the points if they can. So, and I'll go into overall points towards the end of the broadcast here, because that is something that I've worked really hard to try to make it so you can balance it. If you run the races a lot, but maybe not have the greatest finishes, and those who maybe come in and run part of the rounds, but finish well. So I wanted people to get points for being here because I want to encourage people to race. And then after that, you know, I want people to be able to race also well and get points. I don't want to just give people like participation points. I want people to get points for racing with me, racing with the series, and some bonuses for doing that. But I also want to encourage competition. So, again, that one's pretty simple. It's Christmas afternoon. Tentatively, I've got it at 6 p.m. tentatively. And we'll finalize after each round. I'll finalize and post those in our chat, and then also on my Instagram to announce the next round official rules and everything. Okay, so round 4. Again, we went from Christmas weekend. Now we're going to skip over to New Year's weekend. So we're going to give everybody pretty much the week there to catch up, whatever. So we're going to go the 30th, the 31st, and the 1st. So this is kind of a unique weekend, though. So I'm calling round 4 the Miata Challenge. It's going to be December 30th, roughly 7:30, just like the 23rd race was. It's going to be the Miata touring car at a specific spec at Scuba. This is going to be 4 12-lap grid start races. We're going to have 1 5-minute qualifying and then invert each race after that. Okay, that should be really interesting because I noticed the Miatas are very, very competitive because they're easy to drive and they're low powered. So a lot of drivers that may not be as skilled can still be competitive in those cars. So those are going to be, again, 4 12-lap races with grid start. 5-minute qualifying for the first race, invert each race after round 1. And this spec is going to be the Mazda Miata Touring Car Championship Series spec that we used back in the Mazda Miata series we ran. And you can go back in my videos and find those because I have them labeled MMTCC. But right now, I'm going to back out and get you the specs on that car because that was a specific spec that we made up for that car. Now, I'm probably going to only allow hard tires here, but I might allow mediums or softs just to increase the competition. But what I don't want pit stops here, so this is going to be a 1x fuel setup. So that's going to be different from the normal series setup. So I'm going to change into that car, which is, I did a little testing on this just to make sure. Alright, so I'm going to show you the settings on this car. Now, I set it up for medium spec when I was checking the specs on it. So this car you will be able to do settings. Okay, you can do settings how you want. I haven't determined the exact top speed on the transmission. This is how we regulated the MMTCC. But you'll be able to have settings wherever you want that are allowed on this car. So I will go into a little more detail. Oh, are you kidding me? Hang on, I gotta kill this bot, people. I do apologize.
Smiling face with hearts, revolving hearts, smiling face with hearts, hot face.
See, I can't get to them. Maybe somebody got it. Thank you, whoever got that. Thank you. For some reason, it's not letting me see them, and maybe because somebody's hitting them faster than they come up. So I appreciate everybody. That's why I made you all admin or moderators. Appreciate everybody doing that. So again, the Mazda Miata Touring Car Championship spec is going to be what we're going to run at this race. Probably just leave the 260. That was always a good number, but I will run some testing. That may change. So let me jump out here. This car is an absolute blast to drive. It's easy to drive. It's hard to overdrive. So, like I said, it's a low power car, but it's the chassis can handle it. So it's pretty fun. So all right, to get what we have over here, 1,753 pounds, 239 horsepower. That is our spec vehicle. So if you go into the racing section, you're going to be able to buy the following. I'm going to allow you to buy all the tires. We need a fully customizable racing transmission, fully customizable suspension, racing clutch and flywheel. Brake balance controller is optional but recommended. Racing brake pads are optional but recommended. Racing kit, either one of these. As I say all the time, these both have the same PP. So whichever you prefer the looks of, it's up to you. I always run the slotted. Racing muffler, racing air filter, engine balance tuning, and stroke up. And then on the semi-racing side, the racing crankshaft, fully customizable computer, and the fully customizable LSD. Ignore this because I had bought that initially. Again, like the sports brake kit and this other stuff. We're not going to run sports tire. We're going to run racing tires. So I would recommend buying all three if you're comfortable on hards. That may be the spec, but definitely I would be ready to buy. You can buy them at the track too. If we got that, forget we got that. Now you can buy the race shop. So at this point, that's our setup, and it gives it one medium is about a 570.16. So I may just set the room for 571 just to make sure we stay. If I allow medium tires, it'd be for 571. If I allow softs, I'll set it for whatever the max is for the softs. Again, I want to discourage pit stops on that event. That's supposed to be like a dash for that event. So, okay, so that is round number 4. Now, we move on to what I think is going to be the most exciting is the 2 Daytona races, okay? Now we all know the Daytona 24 Hours happens in towards the end of January. So after talking to my guys today, I had initially done this and then I changed it. So I actually went back to it. So what we're going to do, and I couldn't think of a good way to do it. I wanted to call it the Timex 24 Hours of Daytona, but I figured that might be some copyright thing, so I just said no. We're just going to call it the New Year's 24-hour race weekend. Okay, it's basically a doubleheader weekend. Round 5 and round 5 is basically a doubleheader. Okay, it's over the course of 2 days. All right, so tentatively, again, these are tentative dates because I want as many people to participate as possible. So feedback, I'm looking for feedback. If you're watching this video, leave me a comment. Tell me, if you're watching this on a replay, leave me a comment. Tell me what you think you could race, and I will try to take all that in consideration. I know that I'm not going to probably have Steve racing because he's going to be traveling from Florida back on these races. So what we're doing basically, I'm running two races that are the same at Daytona Road Course. So I'm going to set the room for 36 laps, but they're 35 lap races with pace lap. Okay, so we're going to have the pace lap in there. We're going to have 2 divisions running, which is going to be an experiment to see how well this works. You can run whatever Group 1 car you want, or whatever Group 3 car you want. The Group 1 car is going to have limits, so I want you to buy the power restrictor and ballast, because I'm going to run a 900 pp room limit, 900 performance points limit, and a 900 horsepower max horsepower limit. Most important, you're going to need ballast because I'm going to require a 2,399 pound weight. And the reason I did this is to try to balance these cars out again. You got some cars that are just ringers, and I don't want that. I want everybody to be on a fairly equal ground. So this will be like an IMSA style race. So we have Group 1 and Group 3. And the Group 3 cars, again, you can run anything you want, but I don't want to see Vision Gran Turismo ringer type cars. I'm going to allow you to do settings, but there's only one stipulation on each car, for sure. And that is Group 1 cars, you're going to have the fully customizable transmission. If they don't have it, you have to buy it. I need your transmission set at 400 top speed. No individual gear ratio changes, okay? Group 3, I want it set at 300 top speed, and I've done quite a bit of research on this. So, you can do settings, you can set your camber. If you want to put 10 degrees of camber in it, that's up to you. I wouldn't recommend that. But you can't go over the 900 pp, so if you start making some crazy adjustments, you might have to drop your ballast down or your power down. So that's the limit. Now, the Group 3 cars, I ask you to try to leave them basically stock in their settings, but obviously that's going to be very difficult for me to police because I can't look into your settings, and I can't put 2 limits in the field. So in order to allow 2 divisions, I'm going to have to have some trust that people are going to try to leave their cars as stock as possible. You can run whatever tires you want, but again, it's 35 laps. So you have the 36, so you have 1 extra pace lap. Now, what I'm doing to try to encourage people to run both divisions is I'm going to give the same bonus points and finish points for each division. The only thing I'm going to do, because the overall race will still get the same amount of points, but bonus points, I'll give you bonus points for the Group 3 as well, because you know the Group 1 cars are going to go faster. In my testing, they're approximately 15 seconds faster than the Group 3 cars. And I don't have that many Group 3 cars, but I did test 4 of them. And I was running within about a second on all of them. And I ran the Supra the GT500 Supra, the Mustang, and I think the RX Vision. I ran those cars, and I was pretty much within a second. Now, I only have the one Group 1 car, so I'm using the GR010, the new Toyota Group 1 car, using that as a baseline. And I was running around 130 and then around 145s with the Group 3 cars. So, just so you guys know what you're looking at. Again, there'll be some limit there, but I'm going to ask... I mean, if you want to change the turbochargers on those cars to high horsepower, low horse, that's up to you. I personally, I don't like messing with that stuff because, especially a track like Daytona where you're all out and then you're also crawling, I don't necessarily think that that you're gonna benefit by having a different turbocharger. But that's up to you. If you want to run it, you can, but you're only gonna have a 300 mile an hour top speed, or 300 kilometer per hour top speed, no matter what you do. That's what I'm expecting. Okay, so that is our, not only the 31st, but also the 1st. Again, tentatively 2 p.m. on the 31st, trying to get early afternoon, and 6 p.m. on the 1st. And the reason I did that is to give people time to enjoy their New Year's and then get things right on New Year's Day. In other words, if you're hungover, you get a chance to be not hungover. All right, so that moves us on to the next week. And again, I might just do this the same way we're doing the other 2 weekends. And tentatively, I've got it set, round 6 set, January 4th at about 7 o'clock. And I should shut this off. Sorry, I wasn't even paying attention. But, so January 4th, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, we're going to run Fuji with the chicane, 2 16-lap races with a pace lap, 17 laps set. And this is going to be in the car we just ran, the Sylvia Spec R. You're going to be able to use hard, medium, or soft tires, but mediums are going to be required. Okay, you may be able to go the whole race on medium. I don't know if you'll be able to go on the whole race on fuel. I'm going to require the transmission be 280, but I'm also going to give you the option of going plus or minus 20 off of that. Okay, so I may require medium and softs, but for now we're just requiring mediums. I think I like getting some strategy in these. I mean, you can, you might be able to run, the whole race on mediums if you want. I don't know how it's going to wear there on this car because we didn't run there. So that'll be an interesting one. But I'm going to figure out whatever the best setting is, and that's going to be where I'm going to set the max on the room. And I'll set that car up so it's max horsepower. I think it's like 355? 255 or 355? Something like that. But I'll set the room up wherever that car comes out max. And again, I haven't tested this one or set the room up on this one. So round 7 is going to be kind of it's still up in the air, and I'm still wanting to leave some things open for everybody. So tentatively, it just kind of fell on when I was figuring these dates out and trying to figure out what dates would work, that round 7 fell on January 7th, and I was thinking about 7 o'clock p.m. So I'm like, oh, well, let's just do everything 7. So 7 races, 7 laps per race. First race is going to be set by overall standings. So this will be kind of like okay, here's your bonus for participating. Okay. And then, again, we'll go back to the invert after the first race. All right, 7 races. Now, I haven't locked this in, but tentatively I've got this set as basically repeating every track we've been to, but in this car. Okay, so we would start off including our open night. So we'd start off with Red Bull, 7 laps. And again, the first race is going to be set up by overall standings. Then we're going to have WeatherTech, 7 laps. Okay, then we go Nürburgring Grand Prix, 7 laps. And we're in the spec car, so it's pretty even, okay? Then we're going to go Brands Hatch, 7 laps. And we're going to invert the fields every time. Scuba and Daytona, I may adjust. Scuba's a pretty short track. 7 laps is probably not enough, so we may do 14 laps. Okay. Daytona Road Course, again, 7 laps may not be enough. Okay, I think it's a good sprint at these other tracks, especially if we invert the field. And then Fuji, I think 7 laps is fine at Fuji for a sprint race. Okay, and then basically these would be all the points on this round would be you know, however many drivers, and I'll go into that more in detail. But at this point, I'm not sure. You know, we may just do Group 4 again. I think Group 4 might be kind of like the set way to go. But at this point, you know, we run these and... Oh, you know what? I got mixed up there. I apologize, people. I carried over the Sylvia into this round, and we haven't determined the car yet in this round. So, still thinking the Group 4 is going to be kind of our default. So... that would be pretty interesting, and a couple of those races would be already ones we'd run in the Group 4. So that would be... and then we may have a wild card round in there. I haven't decided yet. A wild card race, but Red Bull, WeatherTech, Nürburgring Grand Prix, Brands Hatch, Scuba, Daytona, and Fuji give us our 7 tracks for the 7 races. But because there's so much at Daytona, I may take that out and let the overall points leader at that time choose the track that we either haven't raced at, or if they want to run at something different. Again, I want this to be fluid because I'm learning how to do this, and I want people to have fun, and I want to take in all ideas. All right, so this was the first one I set because I was trying to go backwards and figure out how many rounds I was going to run. And this was the first one I set, and I just changed it this afternoon. But round 8, which was initially going to be the championship race, is going to be the Suzuka Formula and the Super Formula, Honda and Toyota, BOP, okay, no settings. Haven't determined the amount of laps because I really want to do a little bit of testing. And I haven't determined tires and such. Okay? It may be 2 races, it may be 3 races. If I do the 3 races, I'll probably do the tire choose thing. But at this point, we have not determined it. Now, the series finale and if I was going to do just one race, this is what I would do. Is going to be the 14th. It's going to be the day before our start of my next invitational series that I'm running with Steve and all the guys. This is going to be the 14th. We're going to be in the afternoon. I haven't 100% set on 2 p.m., but at this point, that's just a tentative time. So it'll be an afternoon race or early evening because I don't. It's probably going to be earlier in the afternoon or at 2 p.m. Central Standard Time. And this is going to be I'm actually naming it the KingPittdawg Racing 200, and this is going to be 80 laps, 75 scheduled green flag laps, with 2 stages, 1 pace lap. So this one is going to be set up where we're going to have stages at 15 laps, which will be actually at the end of the caution will be at the end of lap 16. We're going to have 25 laps in the second stage, and then the last stage will be 35 laps. 2 caution laps between stages. On the first caution lap, everybody's going to line up single file by right about there in the backstretch, right about the middle of the backstretch there. And then you'll be able to pit on that first lap, and then on the backstretch at the same place on the backstretch On the second lap, I'm allowing the choose rule. So again, there could be some strategy in there. If two people have been running a race together, they may want to stick together. That's going to make it interesting. Pardon me. So, this is my baby. This is the one I've wanted to do this way. So, caution speed is going to be what I'm calling for the whole series. 62 miles an hour or 100 kilometers an hour. It's sometimes easier for some people. That's why I just called them both out. They're both the same. It's sometimes easier for people to do the kilometers per hour because the game defaults to that. The biggest thing, this is going to be basically like, I want to make this like a NASCAR style restrictor plate race. So I'm only allowing front engine, rear drive, Group 3 cars. So the list is limited to, and these are the only cars allowed: Mustang, Corvette, Viper, both Genesises that are Group 3, not only the Hyundai Genesis, but the Genesis brand X, both RCFs, both GTRs, and the Pennzoil one, the GT500 one, that can be run. The Mazda Tenza, which is our Mazda 6 Group 3 car, the RX Vision, the Evo, Mitsubishi Evo, the Subaru WRX, and the Subaru BRZ, the Supra GT500 and the Supra Race Concept, both BMW M6s, both Mercedes-Benz AMGs, the Aston Martin Vantage and DB9, and then the F-Type. No Vision Gran Turismo cars. There will be a specified transmission top speed for all cars. I'm only going to allow the lip spoiler, just like NASCAR runs. Okay, we're not going to allow the big wing up there. I'm only going to allow medium tires. I'm toying with the fuel right here. My goal is the first stage I want to be able to run without a pit stop. The second stage I is probably going to have a pit stop, depending on how you race. And then the third stage, you'll definitely have to have a pit stop in it. Now, the twist to this race that I'm also going to probably try to integrate into the series as much as I can, but it's definitely going to be a factor here at Daytona. Because of the pack racing, if there's more than a single car crash, more than two cars involved, okay, race control being me, and I'm probably going to look for volunteers, I want people to call it out and let me know, and we'll call a caution. Okay? Now, the caution rules will be exactly the same as the in-between stages. It'll be 2 caution laps max. These cars, we don't have to send out tow trucks. We don't have to do anything like that. So, the leader will come to after the caution is called, the leader and everyone will race to the green, or to the start-finish line. And then by the middle of the pack, I want the leader to have the pace down, the middle of the backstretch, I want the leader to have the pace down to 62 miles an hour, 100 kilometers per hour. And the rest of the field catch up so that by the time we get to pit road, everybody's pretty much bumper to bumper, single file. Okay? When you come out of the pits, those who stayed out, if somebody wants to stay out, they can, but they need to maintain that 62 miles an hour, 100 kilometers per hour pace. Okay? I'm going to call that out several times. I will call it out when the caution's out. So, we'll run the same basic procedure for cautions. Okay? I'm also toying with the idea of a potential overtime round here. If like there's a big, like we have a big wreck within the last 5 laps, I'm thinking about running pace laps, getting everything set up, get all of the, and then starting a little 5-lap sprint race in the same room. Lining everybody up, you know, double file. Under that 5 laps, there will be no choose rule. You'll line up no matter what. First, pole, second, inside or outside, whichever. The pole position always, the leader always has the choice of lane. So those could be some twists we add in, but I think that's going to be a fun finish to the series. And I'm probably going to do, because this race is so long, I'm probably going to do 5 times points on this one. And then your bonus points would be 2 or 3 times, because you're getting the max points. But again, I haven't actually done that yet. So now that we're talking about points, okay, I will, after that race is over and it's been reviewed, if there's any questions, the 15th at about noon, I'm going to start a video and I'm going to present the final point standings for the series, and then the overall winner for the series. Overall winner, second, third, fourth. I'll probably just go through the whole list of anybody who participated. So now, to get into the points, how I'm going to work points on this. And again, I went back and forth and I wrote a bunch of scenarios down about people finishing, people not racing, things like that. So here's how it's going to work. Okay, points are awarded per race based on the car count per race. Okay, so it's conceivable if we had 15 people in one race in the round and 9, that you could possibly get more points for finishing halfway and back in the field than the winner does in another round. So I decided this would add a little wrinkle to it and also encourage participation, which is what I want to do. So again, the points per race are going to be based on car count per race. You're going to get 1 bonus point every time you start a race. So you're going to get your car count. So say there's 10 cars and you finish last. You're not going to get just 1 point. You're going to get 2 points just because you participated. Okay? And then you're going to get a bonus point for each race win. So everybody's going to get a participation point. So you're going to get 15 points. Or if there was 10 drivers, you're going to get 10 points. You're going to get an extra point for starting. So you're going to get 11 points. And you're getting an extra point for winning. So you get 12 points if there's only 10 cars in there. Same thing as I'm trying to... this was really, really hard to do. Because I couldn't figure out, how do I be fair as possibly I can. I want to encourage people to race with me. I know it's the holiday season. It's going to be hard for everybody to race every race. So that's why I've come up with this kind of extravagant bonus system. Basically, people participating in the races, if there's not that many people running, you're not going to be jumping out to this huge points lead. So if somebody comes in and then there's a bunch of people running, I really want everybody running the Daytona race. I want a full field. I want 16 cars. So that kind of gives you the race finish, and then the bonus points will be determined by your average finish. Okay, and you can drop if there's 3 rounds and you only run 2, that would really severely drop your average. So, say for instance you win a race and finish 5th, but don't participate in the 3rd race, your average finish is going to be 5th, because you're not going to get any points for the 3rd, but you're going to divide your average finish points, or your average finish. Okay, so it's possible somebody could run 3 races and finish 4th in each of them and still win the overall round. Does that make sense? So I hope that makes sense, everybody. Question me if you have any questions. Again, this is going to be a work in progress, so we can change these rules a little bit. I don't want to make it seem like I'm trying to favor somebody, though. And then the way we do if we're doing the average finish, then we got to do the average car count. So it'll be divided that way too. That's the only way I can figure out it works. If somebody competes in every round I'm going into Daytona, I'm going to give you a bonus point. I'm sorry. I'm going to give you 8 bonus points if you compete in every round going into Daytona. Okay, and that you don't have to finish every round, but if you participate in every round, I want you to get a bonus for that because I think that's an effort that you should be rewarded for. Okay, so some other miscellaneous rules. You got to declare your Group 1, Group 3, and Group 4 car before the event. I don't, except for exceptions like the Red Bull race I may make an exception at, or the 7 race. I really don't want you changing cars. Okay, because you can't go out there, oh, look, this car's running fast. I'm trying to avoid that ringer mentality on the cars. That's Group 1, Group 3, Group 4. Again, no Vision Gran Turismo cars. I just think those are just fake cars anyway. So race rules, miscellaneous race rules. You must join the official chat party during the event, which we use to spot for each other and also for race control. I will be reviewing the races. I will run the replays as a broadcast. And then I will also be doing some private reviewing of the races if there's any issues. I should be able to see those when we run the broadcast because I will be doing a lot of checking on the action in the field during the broadcasts. And again, pole position is going to be responsible for the pace of the race and for the start. And there will be dedicated start areas in every race. So, cars you're going to have to buy in order to race. The Radical SR3 if you don't have it. I had all of these cars. I bought a new Radical just to set the rules. So the Radical SR3 has to be set to HECS spec. The MX-5 touring car, the Mazda Miata touring car, has to be set to TCC spec that I went over. The Silvia Spec R Aero has to be set to PRG FIC spec, which was the series we just ran. And then the Super Formula, Honda or Toyota is going to be BOP. And I'm going to have specs available for the official series for the official series. And again, I'll have a chat created, and I'm also going to be posting each individual round. I'll post the results, like the overall points winner for the races, and then I'll also post the round winner, the points getter. So I think I'm going to give the round points are going to be, you're going to get the top 5 are going to get bonus points for the round. So if you want to contact me to let me know you're going to race this, you can comment on this video. Once this thing uploads, don't comment now while it's live. You can reach out to me at KingPittdawg on PlayStation Network. That's capital K ING, capital P ITT, capital D AWG. And then I'm just going to actually I can show you that. I don't know why I just duh. So there it is right there, KingPittdawg. You reach out to me on PlayStation Network. We will have to friend each other. You'll have to friend me to join if we're not already friends. Okay. You can also reach out to me by a direct message at my Instagram, which is KevinP_KPD. Again, it's Kevin P KEVIN P like Peter _ KPD like KingPittdawg KPD. Kevin P _KPD at on Instagram. You can also email me at FQCC, that's like first quality, CC, president at AOL.com. Okay? And please type, if you're going to do that, because I get a ton of spam mail on that, type HECS entry in the subject line, and then I will be able to look for it even in my junk if I see it. So, yeah, the easiest way is going to be on PlayStation Network. Once you tell me you want to enter, I will put you in our chat. So you will get all of the information on the chat, not only the spec chat. I'm going to do it just like just like Steve's doing for the new series, he's going to start a chat for specifications and rules and event, the individual dates. That's just going to be for that. And then he's going to have one for conversations and questions and things like that. So I'm going to do that same thing. So there's going to be a group chat for everybody to enter and note whether they're participating or not. Just wanted to let you guys know, if the rooms start to fill up, anyone who's done the entry, you can enter by coming into the room, but I'm encouraging pre-entry, because if the room does fill up, and some people may just be in there spectating, if the room fills up, people that are entered and actually have told me they entered are going to get precedence, because I can kick people out of the room. So if you're going to do that, if you're going to come in and race, please send me an entry. Just state it right in the chat, and I will be tracking that as we go. So let's see, what else we got? Again, start times may be adjusted. I will be doing reviews. I don't want to have to get into the disqualifications, but those rules will be posted. We expect clean racing. We will review any complaints. If you have a complaint about a driver, reach out to me direct. I don't want that over the race chat, and I will review the race and determine what happened. Now, people need to understand that this is done in an imperfect world. Okay, some people have internet issues. Most of them are really good about when they're having internet issues. My consideration is the internet issues are like having a car issue. So I kind of expect you can run the race, you can try to be competitive, but if people are having problems, I expect it to be almost like a blue flag thing. Move over, let the guys that have the good internet get around you. I really feel bad for people that don't, and I don't want you to have to just drop out of the way for everybody. But if somebody says, hey, I can't see where he's at, I would ask you to move over, let that person by. And then if you can get by him again, because you're not going to have a problem you passing them. If you're faster than them and can't get back by them, then fine. If they get to you again, then I would expect you to race them hard. If your internet drops or if you lose contact somehow with the server, I will make every effort. If it's early in the race, like if we haven't gotten through 1 or 2 laps, I will ask the field if anybody has any objections to restarting the race. I don't have any problem doing that. But I also am not going to stop a race that's, 2 or 3 laps in already. Okay, if it's on the first lap or something like that, I don't mind a restart. But if we're 2 laps into a race and you have an internet issue and get disconnected, just consider that a mechanical failure, like in real race, and it just be you'll have an entry, but it'll be a DNF, and you can come back into the room for the next events, but you're going to get 0 points. Well, you'll get last place points, or if you may not be the last one. If 3 cars drop out, you might be 4th from the bottom. You'll get those points. I'm not going to give you nothing. I just consider it just a normal mechanical failure, and you're basically retiring from the race. If you come back into the room and it works for the rest of the series, great. That's great. But I wanted to address that because we've had that issue a couple of times, and I had some problems with my memory storage I didn't know about, and I will point that out to some people here right now. Something very important. Go right down here. What is it? It is in options. Hang on. Let's close this. It's options right here. Go down here, get this storage fixed. Okay, I am going to get rid of a lot of these replays. You can see replays take up 76% of my storage. Unfortunately, the game only gives you so much storage. I went out and bought 2 terabyte of extra storage from a PlayStation. It doesn't do any good because the game only allows so much. And it's not a lot. The other thing you want to do is go in here to your network, delete temporary data. That's almost a half a gig right there. That's used up. So I'm going to clean that out. Now you'll watch. Okay, now when I go back in here, look at that, 902 megabytes. That was basically 400 megabytes of information that was taking up space, and I just cleaned this the last broadcast, so check that. Something I didn't know about, and I thank you to SERP for showing me that. We'll just hit it again. I always do it twice just to make sure. I don't think it makes any difference. But yes, I think I've gone through everything. I've gone through all the information I have. And again, this starts on Wednesday with our open night. And again, that's more or less like a fun practice. Let's just have fun with this. I need some practice on tracking. I will be tracking finishes, starts and finishes. So, and again, like I said, because I want to practice, I need to know how to do this. I don't want to go into opening night and find something that I need to do different. I want to find that night. And then it's just a good, fun night. Get to know each other, talk on the chat. So again, I'll set a chat party. I'll open the room, and then everybody I ask to come on. If you're coming into the room, get yourself set up in the room, and then you can join the chat party, or you can join the chat party earlier. I'm going to try to, and again, I'm going to try to have everything set up a half-hour minimum before the race starts. And I will flag the room as, I'll title the room as practice when it's practice, and then the round when it's the round. Okay? So I think that's it. Again, please reach out to me. I want as many people to participate as possible. And I'm really looking forward to having a good quality, fun racing here over the course of the next few weeks. And can't think of anything else. It's hard to do this live all the time because I sign off and I'm like, oh, I wish I would have said this. I wish I would have said that. But any questions, don't hesitate to reach out to me. Reach out to me on PlayStation Network if you want to enter. Reach out to me at my Instagram if you want to enter. Reach out to me on this video by just writing me a comment, hey, I want to enter. We'll make sure we're friends. If we're already friends, then all I really need you to do is just let me know, hey, I want to enter. I'll put your name right into the group chat when I start that. I'm not going to start the group chat until probably Tuesday or Wednesday I might do it, even just launch it during the open night. So, again, series actually starts next Friday, the 23rd, and then we're at 23rd, 24th, 25th, and then we're going to be 30th, 31st, and January 1st, and then we will have a race sometime either Wednesday or Friday the following week, and then we'll have a race on the 7th and the 8th, and we'll conclude the series on the 14th of January. So, hope everybody joins me. Appreciate everybody coming on. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe if you have not already, hit that notification bell. You'll know when I'm on. I know YouTube lags with the notification bell, so you can always, when the live comes on, you can always back it up and watch it. So, appreciate everybody. Again, hope you join me. I'm really looking forward to having big fields here. I'd like to have at least 10. I really would like to have 16, but I'd love to see 10 people at each race. And that'd make the points more consistent. But I really want to see a full field at Daytona. And again, there is a cash prize for winning the overall championship. So I encourage you that the racing is set up. If you participate and you run well, you're going to be high up in the points. So, but you can also miss a few. And still have a decent finish. So, as long as you're running up front consistently, you'll get good points. So, that is it for this. Look out for my next video. I'm going to have to come on and try to get rid of some of these replays. So, I will probably be on tomorrow night. And I'll probably be on tomorrow night, and we will go through a couple of the replays from tonight, the championship round at the FIC series, and then probably get rid of some of the miscellaneous replays, and then I'll probably do some other things offline. So,
Sweat droplets kiss
oh, just why in the world can I not get rid of this thing?
Love letter,
It's the same thing every time.
Revolving hearts, love letter, smiling
It's
face with
69
hearts, hot face,
mega
smiling
dot
face with
space
hearts.
COM.
Check mark button, zany face, smiling face with hearts.
Oh, they're adding. I see what they're doing. All right, well, that's it for now. We'll see y'all around. Again, any questions, please don't hesitate. Don't be shy. Join me. It's fun. Nobody's going to criticize you. I mean, you have fun. I mean, I'm not the fastest. You know, I finished 5th in the FIC series. I ran every race. Had some technical difficulties during one, so I consider that like mechanical failure. I think there was 2 rounds I actually had problems with technical stuff, and that's when I found out about the memory storage thing. So check that if you're coming in. Get that cleared out. If your internet is weak, try not to be running downloads. Try to reset before, because like I said, I consider internet problems a mechanical failure or like a vehicle failure in a race. So I think that's it for now. We'll talk to you all. Hope everybody has a good week. Hopefully everybody joins me. We'll have some fun on Wednesday night, and then we'll get down to business on Friday night and Saturday and Sunday. And Merry Christmas to everybody who doesn't come on. And if I don't see you before then, Happy New Year as well. We'll be into 2023 already. So until then, till you're on next time, till I'm on next time, KingPittdawg